How are we doing, everyone? Good to have everyone on. So, we have got a superstar rock star in the house. Let's get this. Come and join us. There she is. I've got her tied down so she doesn't run off. So we worked this out before. I'm going to keep my big buff head in the way of this light so then we can get everyone on. So, how is everyone going? I know that we're feeling good. We've been doing a lot of business strategies. Yeah. Obviously, we've got her on a live stream. Yes. She said, "Never, Lee. I'm not getting on an F1 live stream with you with your big buff head." Who have we got on? My beautiful sister, Helene, my other sister,
Hi.
Fida, my other sister, and my main man, Maddie. So what we're going to roll out, and what I thought is, is going to be a great way to express what people have gone through with these retreats is, yes, I can sit there, I've done 22, but when it comes, hey, my beautiful sister, we want to come and play with those puppies. We want to come and look after them.
Yeah.
Jebowa wants to be the mama bear. Awesome stuff. So, I really want this to be an understanding of, firstly, the growth of what Jebowa's experienced through the retreat, and getting her on a live stream with me. And we were talking about what we really found about ourselves was obviously me being her partner and being the leader, or being the I wouldn't say coach, but saying the teacher, and her obviously disconnecting with that. But then again, of really, we've discovered more about ourselves as in a partnership as well. I always knew that she was beautiful and she was unlimited potential, but when you actually experience it, it comes out a lot more as well. And then obviously she found parts of me. She didn't think there was just this big buffhead and barking dog always, and she goes, "Oh, he's actually got some good things to say." So, what were your takeaways throughout the retreat? What did you were coming in, you didn't really expect much, yeah? And then obviously, just share with what you didn't expect, and then how did you walk out?
Yeah, I think coming into the retreat, obviously I had quite a bit of pre-framing from Lee and the rest of the team, Maddie G, and the message I was given and I took away coming into the retreat and the days leading up to it was expect nothing at all, but to make sure that I go in there and I do play full out. So I, come to the airport not really having a clue what I was getting myself into, almost thinking that this was going to be a holiday. I can tell you now.
And she was wrong.
It was far from a holiday. Even the first couple of days into the retreat, I still, every second, I was kept on my toes. Had no idea. Even though I was part of some of the planning for
Tammy's
it.
on. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
I got her on a live stream.
Yeah, still had no idea what to expect, but I actually really liked that element of surprise throughout the retreat. My whole life is quite regimented and structured, and
she's gonna pay me for that.
I spend most of my day working in the corporate space, so I'm told what to do, when to do it, how I'm going to do it, all of that. So the retreat and the journey, I don't even like calling it a retreat. I don't even think it does it justice.
Yeah.
No. So I really love that element of surprise. And
journey.
yeah, and I think as a whole team, I was incredibly surprised by the support that the whole team, all of the participants, the support that they gave me through the entire...
Special, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And prior to sort of coming through to the retreat, it wasn't a person that would sort of be very comfortable in environments where there's large groups of people. I tend to sort of stick to myself quite contently, but these guys really got me out of my comfort zone.
Good job.
So thank you.
We're winning.
Really pushing me, because it was only through that, as well as my desire to change, and I really did want to change. So even if you push me physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I wouldn't have got the change results that I have if I also didn't want the change myself.
Write that down.
So yeah, I absolutely did go in there were the first couple of days, I'm just going, get me out of here, what have I done, what's going on?
She almost beat me up.
I think I ran away on the second day. I had, you know, through the whole journey, I had moments where I just wanted to go back to my old ways and escape, and I literally did. I ran down to the river and I missed half of the day.
Almost got on a plane?
Almost got on a plane, and I don't know what it was. Well, I do know what it was. I did have a moment sort of down there where I really found that belief in myself again. It was actually something so tiny and almost silly, but it was really pivotal in my journey to sort of believing in myself again. There was these two big like boulder rocks in the middle of the river, and for some reason, and there was probably only like a distance of like, I don't know, a meter or half a meter. It really wasn't that far.
Yeah.
And in my mind I'm just going, I can't do it. There is no way I'm going to be able to jump from this boulder to that one without slipping and hitting my head and then getting eaten by, you know, snakes and spiders and whatever.
Crocodiles.
And I went to go jump so many times. I was down there for hours, and you know, I'd break down crying, thinking, why can't I jump? And then I got up and I jumped and I made it. I landed. I didn't fall off it. And that's when I just started crying. I was like, oh my God, like it's been me that has stopped myself this whole time. Like I realized in that moment that, yeah, I had the ability to do it, but it was just me in my head not believing I could do it. Something so small like that. So I came back up and, you know, from the river, and I joined the team again, and that's when the real journey started. And I think had I not done that and had that moment to myself for that to happen, I wouldn't have, the rest of the journey wouldn't have been what it was.
I honestly thought it's when I gave her a lap dance, that's why she came back up to the... No, only joking.
No.
And yeah, like I knew that there was something obviously going on, and you know, people were growing through certain things, and Jebowa needed that time to regroup, because there's no point of just going and forcing yourself and not enjoying the process. And she said, look, Lee, I know that I'm here, I'm organising, I'm doing the logistics, I want to be a part of it. I want to go away and enjoy the process. I want to learn the learnings. I want to apply myself. And I said, of course, that's fantastic. And for her to, you know, to say and understand that, you know, with a lot of the things that you move forward through, and that what you're growing through, is that you need to speak up. Because if she went through and just said, look, I don't want to keep, you know, I don't want to upset you, Lee, I want to keep everyone happy. What will the process, or what will happen with that? She would have gone away and she wouldn't have got the experience. So that's when we talk about, you know, you don't want there to be any grey areas at all. You want to speak up and say, well, I need more of this, I need more of that. And I'm glad that she said that. Obviously, being my partner, being close to my heart, but more importantly, the community that we create. You know, every time we do a live stream, everyone wants to come and say hello. It's okay, energy. You know, they want to have a little bit of a touch, not in a weird way, but you know. So you really want to, you know, really take on board with that, and that's what I want people to understand. Is you can't really, you know, Jebowa living with me and me talking about the retreat, you really can't get a guidance. And like I would say something, and then obviously for her structure of reality, she could take it a completely different way. You know, and in life, it's not like you can't really grasp onto it too much. You can have an intent and have an idea, but you can't really go, okay, this is how it's going to formulate, or know it. You can go to that direction, but it's always going to change. So what could you share with everyone of some of the biggest takeaways of what you learned more about yourself, more about what we do, maybe about me, or about the team, and just about the world now?
Yeah. It's so big. I think the one thing I can say is everything has changed, and it's not physically changed. It's not, you know, legit, like geographically I'm here, I'm still in the same body, still the same age, all of that stuff, you know. But in here, which is now creating everything on the outer world, it's completely changed. You know, I had some, through the journey of, you know, the various days, and now I have a real appreciation for the, I guess, what I understood of the retreat was the structure of how that journey was meant to look, but you can't explain it until you actually go through it yourself. You really can't explain that journey and that process you go through. There were times where, you know, I saw grown men, you know, hard as, you know, nails, like falling down, you know, breaking down, and it was incredible because it was just, you could actually see and feel when the, you know, the group was going through a breakthrough. Even myself, there were moments where
she goes, I'm so happy for you, powerful goddess.
yeah, there were moments when I was like, what the hell is going on, you know, and then you realise, like, when you come out the other end, that was a breakthrough. And I remember the feeling, you know, like I said, sort of by the second day, the third day, that's when I started to really get comfortable in my own skin. I used to be someone that really didn't value myself very much, or you know, feel worthy or feel deserving, and so I really refrained from being in, you know, situations where you can accept love and support. And like I said, this group absolutely shook me out of that.
There you go, what a massive journey it's just become.
Yeah, it was. You know, I remember moments, like the real pivotal moments for me. I remember breaking through the limiting beliefs, board breaking exercise. You can't even, you can't replicate that moment unless you get into that empowered state again. The second I did that, it's like all the, you know, the shell breaks down, and and I know I've always been this person, but yeah, I don't know what happened. It's like for sort of the last 6 years I've been operating, you know, just
way below your potential.
Yeah, like someone else, and I can't even pinpoint, you know, what it was or why I was operating like that. I'd always been very ambitious, you know, as a kid and a teenager, and
you just settle, you get used to settling for nothing but greatness.
Yeah, and then going through this journey, I had all of these moments of just going, oh my God, I've always had that potential, like I've always been that person, but it was me stopping myself from coming out of my shell and being comfortable in my own skin, and you know, knowing that I do have value to give in all areas of my life, not just, you know, relationships, and not just through my work and the way I contribute through there, but yeah, so all these moments of breakthrough through the various, you know, activities, and yeah, I remember, you know, even through the success priming that we would do, there were some moments there where I've gone, I'm sure he's put drugs in our water or something, like he has to have, because some of the, you know, the experiences that I had, and I know everyone's journey is different, and coming out of some of those SPs, you honestly feel like you're just high on life, literally. Yeah, it's an incredible feeling.
So just to elaborate with what the SPs are, we call it success priming. And you know, there's a times that I attempted, you know, to explain it to Jebowa about what the SPs are, and obviously you create and you're manifesting everything with energy, with music, you static dance, you're getting a lot of different movement, and you know, until you actually do it, but do it to your best ability and experience, you're like, fuck, you know, this is amazing. Why don't we do it? Why doesn't the world do it? And yes, there's morning routines, and yes, Jebowa's freaked out. I look like a crime site. I've been laying on the ground with crystals all over me, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And it doesn't matter what I say, you know, obviously being the person that's created this, you have to experience it for yourself. But even like Jebowa would go, okay, look, we'd walk down to the park down that way and we'll do it. But the more you can see someone believing, the greater the experience. So obviously we created a threshold of some days you didn't sleep, like Jebowa's never fasted before, and I said, you're going to be fasting. She's like, fuck off. And obviously she loves her sleep, but no, since she's been getting up, being very regimented, like getting up in the morning, doing her success priming, this is what impressed me. So it was a day that we got up in the morning of 4 a.m. It was a massive day. We did not eat, and then there was time for Jebowa for 2 hours for her to be able to sleep before we climb up an active volcano in the dark, which I wasn't doing, which I let them do. She decided, she goes, I'm not going to sleep, I'm going to push through it, and with no food, with being up for 24 hours, and then she obviously pushed herself through that. And what I'm not going to even try to put in there, what you experienced, how you felt, how did you feel basically going, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what she actually said to me? This was quite funny. She goes, do you think it's safe, HR, do you think it's safe, HR, obviously HR expert, of taking people up to an active volcano with no food and no sleep? I said, fucking oath. And she's like, well, I don't feel like it's safe and this and that. What happens if something happens? Well, you could get hit by a bus crossing the road. So let everyone know how you felt and what was the strategy to get through that. That was priceless.
Yeah, exactly as you said. When it hit me that I've got to get up in 2 hours and go and do this thing, part of me was like, is he crazy? Like, we've had no sleep, we're starving, this is like a war camp, like it just didn't feel real. I was like, what's going on? And there was part of me that got, angry. I was like, oh, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this stupid activity. Why am I going to do that?
She got hungry.
Yeah, isn't it good that I, wouldn't it be better that I go to sleep, get some rest, and then I can wake up the next day fresh? And then I thought to myself, I remember sitting in the bath going, you know what, Jebowa, you've spent the last 6 years sleeping and avoiding, doing meaningful stuff.
Yep.
Like, I've wasted enough hours sleeping and...
Are you all listening to this?
I really have. I've wasted so much time procrastinating and just avoiding, like, doing things that will actually better my life and will, allow me to live the life I want and I deserve to live and I can live. And that was just that moment that, the light bulb went on, and I thought, no, stop this. And Lee went to bed, and I was like, oh, I don't even care what he's doing. If he wants to go and sleep, that's his journey. But I was like, for me, I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to prove myself wrong. Because old me would have gone, nah, stuff him, stuff everyone else. I want sleep. That's what's going to help me. And it would have helped in the short term. I would have felt better the next day. But I would have missed out on a massive journey that I got to go through with the whole team. I would have missed out, I've always wanted to see the clouds like in real life, not just on an aeroplane. I got to do that, but more importantly, it was the mindset and proving to myself that, if I really did want to change and push myself, I could. And
can I ask you a quick question? So that strategy that you took for that to be able to push, do you think that you can apply that in every area of life? That's going to say, well, if I've done that, I'm going to push for anything? Yeah,
absolutely. I savor like that moment though, and I remember taking mental note of it and remembering like how empowered I did feel making that split second decision. And there will be times where I really need to go deep to remember that moment, but where I want to get to is where that's subconscious and that eventually will be embedded, that belief, and reprogramming, over time and consistently, it'll become easy.
Yep.
In those split seconds needing to make a decision. Am I going to sit here on the couch and eat a bag of chips and watch a movie, or am I going to get up and climb an active volcano?
Who can say they've done that? And that's why we call it the climb of life,
yeah. And it's not just getting to the top, it's the journey going up, and going through that journey with the whole team. Whether I could have done it without them was probably questionable. There was times where I remember I basically ran up the mountain and then I could see the top of the peak and I just stopped. I've gone, no, I'm not going any further. That's it. I'm done. I've achieved what I think I need. Yeah. I've gone as far as I think I can. And then I had Maddie going, get up, there's no way, you know, no way you're stopping here, you've come so far, and literally pulled me up and pushed me up the rest of the way. And,
good job, Maddie G.
you know, so there's, you know, what that kind of, you know, created for me is, that threshold isn't here for me now, and it's not here, it's like way up there.
And it keeps growing.
Yeah, and it is. It's like, we talked about at one stage, you know, you don't just go through this retreat and it stops and you're fixed and that's the strategies you're going to use for the rest of your life, because you know that what got you here is not going to get you to your next journey. Like, I should know that by now better than anyone. And so, you know, it's like going to the gym and doing weights, and, you know, you've got a 5 kilo target. So by the end of the week, you're pumping 5 kilos, and then the next week, 10 kilos. But, you know, your mind and your muscles is going to adapt to that threshold, and then there's not going to be any challenge. So for me to keep growing, you know, I remember those moments through the whole retreat, those moments where either the light bulb's gone on, or my threshold's gone from there to there, and I amazed myself at what I was capable of. So, you know, I need to keep training my mind, and
the NOS button was pressed.
yeah, you know, I need every day to keep training. You know, like you say, fight hard to train
hard to fight
easy. Yeah. So it's, you know, every day, and not making any more excuses. You know, I'm tired. I hear people at work saying, oh, you know, I had to get up at 6 o'clock, and I just look at them and smile. I'm like, oh honey, that's nothing. Like, try getting up, like, try not sleeping at all.
Sleeping, you know, not eating, climb an active volcano in the dark.
Yeah. But yeah, that's, and everyone, you know, like we all sort of talked about, a lot of the retreaters, that's their view of the world, and they don't know any different yet, you know, and we can only, you know, we need environments and the strategies to keep moving that threshold. Otherwise, you know, I will get complacent again, I will get comfortable, you know, there could be potential to slip back into old, you know, mindset, old habits. So every day working hard, you know, and growing myself.
So saying that, if obviously the people that haven't been at the retreats, what does a normal day look like? So if they say, okay, like you're telling me all this, so a routine. So how did you start today? Obviously we do a lot of this stuff together. But what about even at work? So how do you keep that standard high, and how do you replay that moments or the breakthroughs that you're from the retreat? Yeah,
and that's honestly, that's coming back from the retreat. So coming from our celebration day back home to Melbourne. There was part of me that was petrified of that, because I thought, I didn't quite understand what Lee and the team were saying when they said, okay, you're here in this retreat and this is protected, you're safe here, this is easy. And we're all going, what the hell, this isn't easy, this is like a war camp, what are you talking about? I want to go back home, I've got my TV and I've got my animals, I've got my kids, and eat what I want. Bubble. Yeah, we're going, what are they talking about? This is easy. Because in the moment it felt incredibly challenging. And coming back, I remember being at the airport and going, oh my God, what am I going to do when X, Y, Z? What am I going to do when someone pisses me off? Or what am I going to do when, you know, a passing thought comes into my mind that doesn't serve me? Like, and so I really thought back on, I did a lot of reading back on a lot of the, you know, the Bible, Beast Bible, and all of the work and all of my thoughts that I had written down. I remembered all of my, all of the strategies that we learned. So, you know, getting into the right state, you know, really checking in and calibrating on, you know, are my thoughts actually serving me? You know, if I'm feeling a particular way, just kind of going back through some of the teachings that Lee taught us, and you know, checking in on how I'm feeling and if my actions are aligned and my thoughts are aligned with what I'm wanting to get out. And then anchored, you know, pretty much, you might not understand what anchoring is unless you've kind of gone through the journey, but you know, my whole body now is pretty much anchored to particular moments.
So what anchored means is it's just basically reminding the body through, it's like a connection. You can neurologically anchor that, but if Jebowa hears a song, or you know, we do our SB, it's like it's different parts of her body are remembering different parts of the retreat, which is huge.
Yeah, yeah, and so going back to work in a, you know, a corporate space, I remember going into work, and it's been a long time since I've done this, and I just had the biggest smile on my face because it was if like I'd left, you know, the old me behind, and I was coming in, and I don't even call it work anymore, because now I call it my current place of contribution. So
That's massive.
you know, I don't feel stuck there anymore. It's where I'm choosing to be for this moment,
Yeah.
to contribute back to the world. And going back there,
Write that down.
and just knowing that I'm coming in there with a new perspective, and I sit down at my desk, and within about 52 minutes, you know, it's 9:52 a.m., start getting attacked. What feels like, you know, people dropping bombs on you, and not really bombs, but in your mind, you know, they're trying to pop what we call our retreat bubble, you know, and we've come out, and that's when it really hit me. I've gone, holy shit, I know what you're talking about now, where the retreat was a protected environment that was easy. It's actually coming back into life that is challenging, because there's, you know, there's negative energy everywhere. You've got people that want to, they do want to suck the positivity out of you. I don't think it's
Not purposely.
Not purposely.
They're used to having that negative, or they don't know what they don't know.
And when they see someone coming in and you're buzzing, and they think you've been on the holiday, so they're like, oh, you know, here's all this work that you're meant to catch up on. You've been in Bali on a holiday, and I'm just going, what the hell's going on? And that's where I really had to tap into all of the moments, you know, and even just sitting at my desk, you know, I'll do some of the breathing techniques that Maya taught us. You know, I just remember specific moments. I've been keeping my connections with the team.
And that's vital.
Yeah, it honestly is, because there's been, you know, in the last, how long have we been back?
About a week.
About a week,
Yeah.
There's been so many moments where, prior to the retreat, I would have just attacked back, and I would have gone back into my old habits, but now I've got all of these tools and strategies and the right mindset. Doesn't mean that you know, that's it, it stops there. It's continual growth, you know,
It's just begun, isn't it?
yeah, doing our SPs every day, journaling, setting intentions the night before for the next day that hasn't even happened yet.
And we challenge each other. The great thing about having, obviously, learning and going through the journey with your partner is you understand it, and it's not like, okay, well, I want you to change, I want you to change. We will hold ourselves accountable. Some days I'm strong, some days Jebowa's stronger than me, and that's why it's so important to have the community, what we've built up. And you know, Eleni's on here all the way from Greece. She's a Melbourne girl. Get your ass back to Melbourne, Eleni. You know, we've got Maddie all the way from Perth, and everyone else that's on here. The community of the right people is either going to make you or break you. You know, because and that's what it's about. I know with the community that's maybe not saying that's allowed the wrong people to come in, but you know, it's all about standards. Yeah, we're going to constantly keep growing, and the thing is, if Jebowa wants to grow and I don't, there's going to be a discrepancy, because she's going to want to grow and she's going to want to, you know, want new things. And if I'm sitting there going, oh, I can't fuck getting up, you get up, and do you know what I mean? We're going to have that. So I don't force her to go like, well, I'm going to go, you're more than welcome to come. And she'll say the same thing. Well, I'm journaling. You know, she's not like, well, we have to do it. And that's a really important part, because I know a lot of people will go back to your partners and you can lead them. It doesn't take two partners. It takes one partner to be in their energy, so in their masculine or feminine. And you know, we were blessed that that we're able to go on this journey, and Jebowa to be part of that. So that's why I say to everyone that's back at home, that yes, it's great if your partner does something like this or does something with someone else, but you both can grow. But you do not go, well, you need to change and you need to change. You choose, do we want to grow together, to have that, you know, that mutual understanding.
Yeah, and that's exactly right, because, you know, since we've come back into each other's lives, I could have gone and, you know, 3 or 4 retreats, you know, if Lee was to say, right, you're gonna, you know, you've got to change, you've got to come to this retreat, or that's it, you know. And that was never that, you know, in my view is, you know, a coach is a leader, and they're there to lead, not to pull and not to push, and you know, they're there to lead you in the right ways, and that's you know, and I'm learning to lead in the ways that you know, were leading myself, starting with myself. That was really massive learning for me, as I kept trying to, you know, I was getting in this.
It's good. You got that? How good is that?
You know, I was putting myself in these situations.
What did Eleni write? I'm here with you, and no matter where this is in the soul in the world, might see you in the beginnings in Bali. Thank you for inspiring me, John and I, here with you guys. Love it. Love it. Beautiful.
Love to see you in Melbourne. Be great. What was I saying?
Oh, sorry.
No, I've lost it.
We're talking about, obviously, with the there wasn't, Jebowa chose that she wanted to grow.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, exactly. You know, and I kept looking at the outcome of situations and going, why is that happening? You know, am I not doing all of the right things? Why do I keep getting into this same pit, or this same mindset, or you know, these same situations over and over again? And there's many times where, you know, we could have just given up and gone, nah, she's not growing, she doesn't want it enough, or, you know, I'm going up here and you can stay behind.
But to pay respect, I didn't mean to interrupt, or I did, but what I need to pay respects back to Jebowa is that she's led me to be a better man. You know, so she's even gone even higher as a beautiful woman, because she's leading herself, and that has led me energetically, whatever, spiritually, whatever, to be a better man. And that's what it's about. It's a polarity shift of energy and knowing and knowledge. You know what I mean? And it's not like, oh well, I've been doing this for 8 years. No, that's, but her just being her and then blossoming into that flower has made me into a better man just because of that. Yeah, so that's huge.
Yeah.
Give me a kiss. Mwah. Keep going.
Yeah, I keep losing my train of thought.
Because she looked in my eyes.
Yeah, no, I've lost it.
So you know, you can't shut me up. So I'm actually being quiet. I'm like, I want to talk, you know, like a bull. What we can share, you know, as a couple, to all the couples that are there, the yin and yang. That's it. That's at the end of the day, you want to have joint goals, like where you want to go. It could be family, it could be, you know, growth, you can so on and so forth. But it's very important to have your individual goals and have that time and have that respect. Because, you know, Jebowa was very good at, I can be very just sort of not smothering, but you know, my energy's in our apartment, and very like, you know, I'm always on the go. And she's very good at saying, hold on a second, I've got to run your nose, sorry. That this is my time, I need my time. So Jebowa, I want Jebowa to share with, you know, I'm always, what's next, let's go. You know, even since coming back, we've created 3 new projects, which Jebowa's got her own mission, which she can share with you guys if she chooses to. I know with mine that, you know, I've been speaking to a lot of my friends back in Melbourne. One of the projects we've got is the social identity project, where we're going to be able to help others step into their social identity, and it's going to be labelled or notified or identified through a band, so you'll be understanding who's going through someone with wealth creation, someone that's giving up drugs, someone that's giving up alcohol, someone looking for a relationship, and that's going to be labelled through a band, and that's going to break a lot of ice, and that's one of them. Another thing is going to be launched on Wednesday, which is going to be huge. That's why Perry's flying down here, which is going to be amazing. But more importantly, so what I want to elaborate with Jebowa and what she's doing is obviously understanding when you have that belief of she looks even more beautiful, she feels more beautiful, her energy is that, but now really what's next for you? Like, would you even think firstly a big thing I want to let everyone know, for Jebowa to travel is massive, yeah? For Jebowa to be living with my buffhead, because she's lived by herself for 10 years, is huge. More importantly, to get her on a live stream or even put a post up. I know for you, some of you people, you might not think this is hard or you know, or it's important. But to see her growth, you know, and I'm sure her friends that are on here, Tammy, I think there's some other friends that are on here, you know Jebowa a lot better than me, and so this is absolutely huge, yeah? So we can give her a cyber clap, and what's massive. So I'm going to shut up. So what's next for you, and you know, just and beyond really?
Yeah. So I've got two massive ventures that I'm creating. One is something I'm very, very passionate about. It's in the human resources field. So, you know, I went through uni and did my degrees and my honours and all of that, you know, working really, really hard to get, you know, this perfect job in you know, your traditional corporate worlds, which I've been working in for the last 5 years. And
so what do you qualify? What's your qualification? So what did you go through uni and what?
Oh, so a Bachelor of Business in Human Resources with honours. Mouthful. But
you have to, you know, pay respect to that.
But it comes down to the anyone can do university degrees in my view. It's really just a discipline and a desire to learn. I love learning. So what this new venture is for me, I was finding a lot of resistance probably the last year and a half working in the corporate space. I find that I've always got a slightly more edgy view on some of the traditional HR practices, you know, and so part of this new journey for me, it's in the HR consulting space. I don't want to share too much yet, but it'll be massive for me personally. It's something I've wanted since I was a little girl. It's something I've visualized and envisaged since I was little. So I can't even believe that it's happening. Yeah, it's crazy. It's always crazy. When I talk, I've spoken to a few people that work about it, and kind of look on the face, it's like, oh yeah, that's cool, but they're like, oh, is she alright? Like, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Is she dreaming?
But you know, I'm taking action, I'm doing it, it's happening. A lot of the activity that I'm putting into and the energy, and I can feel when I talk about it, and when sometimes I get these moments where I've got to sit down and get all of this down on paper, and yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. It's going to be massive for individuals who are working for other companies. It's, without saying too much, it's really going to empower them and give them a different perspective on how they manage certain workplace situations. Going to give them the right strategies and the right tools to, you know, go into meetings that will, with the right mindset and the right strategies and with all the right information that's really suited to them, so that they understand, you know, breaking down all the HR and legal jargon for them.
So obviously they get treated right. They get, you know, they know where they stand or not stand.
Yeah. And really putting that balance of power back between individual and corporation. So I don't want to talk about it too much, but it is something
you'll see soon.
Super excited about. And another one is it's almost like a play project. It's something that came to me about a year ago now. It is an invention. I can't say too much about it.
Be quiet with this.
But I'm really, really passionate about it.
This is incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty. I can feel it when I talk about it or think about it. I wish I'd started moving on this project like a year ago when it came to me.
You always say that.
And what it's going to do, you won't even be able to guess what it is, but what it's really going to do is what I love doing and I'm very passionate about is creating moments with your family and your friends. And a big part of that, and obviously with the European backgrounds, food and mealtime is absolutely precious.
It's very sacred.
Yeah, and I think
Europeans out there, you know that.
When I think about all my moments with my family, my brothers, my dad, my mum, my sister, you know, friends, it's always been around mealtime.
Awesome.
So this project and this invention is it's going to really enable that to happen a lot more, and people are going to enjoy it. So
I love it.
I'll let you like ponder on.
You never work it out, but it's cool.
Yeah, and so I've got like this newfound passion and energy, and I still love my current place of contribution. I'll still be there for a little while yet, as everything else is the wheels are in motion.
Definitely still very passionate about your current,
Current place of contribution.
current place of contribution. Okay.
But yeah, and it's giving me excitement, it's giving me fulfillment, it's giving me like, I wake up excited every day about it, you know. Yeah, that's what's next for me, just in that space. There's so many other elements.
And can I just stop there? Who can truly say, let's be honest, who can truly say that they wake up being excited that you don't want to take on a day? Honestly, say it, because I know that I work with a lot of people. A lot of people get up and go, what's next? Do you know what I'm saying? And let's just sleep in more. Who can't wait to go to sleep to wake up the next day to absolutely fucking rock it? And to hear that, you know, and Jebowa can even tell you, some days she didn't want to wake up.
Yeah.
There'd
be days I'd literally stay in bed for like 2 days straight. I couldn't go to work. I just
been there.
Couldn't. I just literally felt like I couldn't. I didn't want to. And now, I'm like, yep, let's get up, let's go. You know, there's so much to seize of the day. Like I've done enough wasting of time, and you know, this is.
The lady goes, I'm excited for you. I can feel it from here. Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
That's what she does to it. So, as you can see, you can feel that, and that's why I wanted to share that, because I can't say, well, you know what, these people experience this and they experience that. It's honourable for me to be a partner, to see her shine and to stand in that power, and it's amazing to be able to. That's what it's about. It's leaders creating leaders, and even if we live together and we are together, that you can even create that magic in your own home, which you all can create and are creating right now. What I say to everyone, you know, and that's what we know. This is not something to go about the retreat. This is just it's an activity or a technique, but the important thing is that gets you going, that gets you started, that gives you the knowing. Yeah, yes, Bali helps you get the manifestation. Yes, all the techniques, the embedded commands. Yes, you were talking about all the different subconscious reprogramming, so on and so forth. That's to get you started, because if you don't start, you're going to obviously be getting from here to here, and then from the retreat, people are here now, and that just saves a lot of time and gives you that knowing. So, as you can see, how everyone just experienced this, and how obviously Jebowa's come back, and she's absolutely, you know, loving the whole process and the journey. Is there anything that you want to leave the viewers with, or leave the beautiful people with? Anything, just maybe just a short little, I don't know, just value or power statement?
Yeah, what I just say is, if, you know, don't forget that the biggest thing for me was realizing that it was actually just me that was stopping myself this whole time. And honestly, had I not gone to the retreat, maybe, you know, 3, 4, 5 years down the track, I'm blessed to have Lee as my partner, and having someone in that environment and in my space and in my heart every single day, I get to grow with him leading the way. But had I not gone to the retreat, like, it probably would have been 5 years until I got to the state that I am now. And it's not just all the amazing, like the content and the leadership from Lee and the team, Maddie, Nevin. It's also the people. Like, we were blessed to have such
Massive.
an amazing group.
Yeah.
So that really impacted the
I'm glad that you said that.
you know, the change that I got to experience through that.
Yeah.
So all it took was just, there must have been like the tiniest amount of belief in me still left, thank God, honestly. And it took someone like Lee, like, thank God he maintained that bit of belief for me, knowing, you know, he did believe in me that I could get myself back. And my desire to change was bigger than my desire to stay the same. And
that's everything.
yeah, it's one of my favourite statements.
Write that down, that's it.
yeah, I wanted to change more than anything in the world. I just didn't know how to. So, you know, getting my ass to this retreat, thinking it was a holiday, coming out the other end, not a different person, same person, just better, you know, just who I really
love that
wanted
saying
to
as
be.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying it, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you guys, and thanks everyone. What's Lainey said, I want to thank you for sharing your beauty. You're an inspiration. I love you, Jebowa and Master Lee. Lead us the way. Love
Thank
you.
you.
And what I want to elaborate on, one of the things what Jebowa said, which was huge, and look, we don't piss in anyone's pocket. Nothing we say, okay, you say this and I say that. She goes, what are we going to talk about?
No idea.
You know, and I go, we're just going to roll it out. I'm just going to, what happened, and we just go with it, you know, and let's see where it takes us. But what I do want to say, that I have done many retreats, yeah, and every retreat has had very amazing special people on there, but I have to say the community and the support that with this retreat and what's happened has been absolutely second to none. Yeah, so you know, everyone that's come on board, you know, we've had Elaine, we've had all these other people that have been there, you know, Chris, Kelly, so who else have we had? We've had Bree, we've got Alana, we've got Tama, and there's been so many other people that have been a part of it. So many people that have been at the actual, you know, have been at the retreats and so on and so forth, that what I want to say is thank you for letting the opportunity and what we're doing, you know, it's been absolutely second to none, and it's been very magical. And obviously the whole experience wouldn't have been what it has been because of you guys, yeah. And as Jebowa said, that you know, thank you for that, and I know that everyone that was there, you've led me into a, you know, a better leader, a better person as well. So I just want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart, from the journey that you've been able to allow us to, you know, to be on, and so on and so forth. Because what you need to understand is, just quickly, obviously it was great that I had my beautiful partner. It was great that we had Matty, and you know, he's one of my best mates, if not my best mate, and Ryan obviously he's my best mate, and everyone that was there. It grew me into a better person. But even the people that, you know, before this retreat you were strangers, but now you're family. Yeah, and thank you all for allowing me to be a better person, be a better leader, and more importantly, give me hope that we can make a difference. So thank you all. Us, okay, to you, Elaine, and you know, to your beautiful partner John. Love to meet you guys. Let's thank Jebowa for, you know,
Thank you.
you know, how are you feeling anyway? Yeah, so we have to get her on many more. And everyone, thanks for your time. Thanks for listening to my, yeah, and that's what it's about. We're real people getting other real people real results. So have an awesome day. As I always say, familiar, that's exactly right. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you are here with me and Jebowa, Lee Bundy, the CEO of Team Beast Mode International, the messenger of strength. I'm not going to go around the rest, and she's just my beautiful queen. So thank you. It's freezing. Take care, guys. Rock and roll. See you soon.
Bye.